This is Titus Frost, spitting truth, causing glitches in the Matrix. Welcome to my short film covering my book, The Lost Truth. I hope you enjoy this film, and if you have any questions about the book, please let me know after. So the reason for me releasing this video now is because I'm running a free book promo for the next 5 days starting tomorrow, where my book will be free on Amazon Kindle for anyone to download. So please check that out. The links will be in the description. Also, since my book is about symbolism, I thought I would cover some of the symbolism you can see on the front cover and go over some samples from the book so you get an idea of my writing style. So you can see on the cover here we have a fiery lion, the anonymous symbol, and the star of Remphan. And we'll cover each one of those just to start out and why I put it on the cover. So just the first thing to note is the positioning. I have the lion over both of the other symbols as it is more important and more powerful than either, and you'll understand that in a moment. And also I have the anonymous guy sort of infiltrating the star of Remphan and destroying it from within. So that is the symbolism behind the placement. So I chose the Lion of Judah as the symbol to put at the top of the book and over the other two symbols because it is more powerful than the others, and because my book also gets into what I think is going to come during tribulation. And tribulation is allowed to happen because, as the next passage says, the Lion of Judah is able to open the 7 seals. Revelation 5:5. Then one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." And that is the start of the tribulation, when Jesus Christ opens the 7 seals, and each one of those seals brings another part of the tribulation. So I chose the anonymous symbol because anonymous plays a key role in the end of the book when the New World Order is in place. And Anonymous is one of the groups that will be able to survive the actual chaos that's coming forward because it's an ideology and not a group of people. So no matter what happens, the ideology can always live on through other people and through new people. So there's no way to destroy an idea. And that idea also goes into hacking and knowing how to use your own tools for your own freedom. And in the future we have driverless cars and the surveillance grid and everything locked up in the beast system with the mark of the beast. You're not able to buy or sell unless you can hack into that system and live outside the system, because you can manipulate those systems by hacking. So I think hacking is extremely important to learn for the future, especially if we have to live outside this beast system as Christians. The last symbol on the book is the Star of Remphan, also Saturn, and inside of it you can see Metatron's cube, which is also a depiction of the same thing. And that is one of the main symbols the Illuminati, the Freemasons, and all of the occult worship, and they encode into lots of things like street designs, like Washington D.C.'s street design, and into the George Washington Masonic Memorial in Alexandria. And my book covers a lot of the symbolism that they use and some of the sites, especially the sites that the Knights Templar came over here before Columbus and established. So there's a lot of evidence in my book that goes over the different symbolism and explains it fully and its origins, and also some of the different sites across America where the main character visits during the course of the novel, and he explains why it's a Knights Templar site or something of that nature. So you can see here again, this is Metatron's cube, and this is the basis for things like Chartres Cathedral and the Washington D.C. street design and a whole bunch of things of that nature. So this is one of the pictures from inside of my novel that I exposed. Another symbol that's commonly used by them is the octagram star symbol, and I've shown that here on the screen, and this is another one of these symbols I exposed in my book. And you can see from Stonehenge that the octagram star, the Remphan star, is the controlling geometric design for places like Stonehenge and many other ancient sites. When you look at them from above, you can see the controlling geometry. And it's not just Stonehenge, it's also many famous ancient paintings. can also see the famous Illuminati seal on the dollar bill is also created with the same controlling geometry that creates things like the Washington Monument, where you have two Vesica Pisces that give you the creation of the Remphan star. And the Remphan star is the controlling geometry along with the double Vesica Pisces and the seal. And when you change the seal around to look at the phoenix symbol on the back, you can see that the Vesica Pisces, which creates the Remphan star, is also the controlling geometry for the phoenix symbol on the back of the seal as well. So this is obviously the controlling geometry for the seal. So just to go ahead and give you a few of the samples from the book that I often put out on Twitter, I'm going to read some of them for you now. Silently, I opened the window above my target. I could hear his British accent talking to some person, telling them to twirl. To ensure an easy struggle, I shot out both of the banker's knees with 2 quick pops, and then I jumped down onto him, quickly throwing the noose over his head. I grabbed the key and ripped the chain off his neck. The banker tried to scream, but shock had taken over his body. Both his kneecaps a mangled mess and pouring blood over his white Egyptian cotton sheets. The banker with the noose looked right in my eye and said, "I am not ready to die. I still have so much to do." I looked right back into his and I assured him, "Life is an illusion. I am setting you free." I then pushed the red quickly up button. The electric winch cranked to a high-pitched whine as it turned, pulling the mainsail halyard up. Hanging by the noose around his neck, the banker's body was pulled skyward right out of the window overlooking the cabin. Blood poured from his knees as he rose. Most likely I had hit an artery in each leg. The banker grabbed the air, flailing wildly as he ascended out of the cabin, but there was no sound other than the whine of the winch and the drops of blood hitting the deck. Being pulled up to the top of the mast by the halyard, he had no way to escape his fate. Even if he was to get free, he was now over 40 feet in the air. Once the banker was about 80 feet up, he stopped moving, unconscious from suffocation or blood loss, his body now on display for all of Boston Harbor. My bloody public display portion of my contract complete, I turned to see who was in the room with him. Another sample from my book explaining the Edward Snowden revelations. And a main part of my book is to take keywords like battle space and then be able to use those in search engine programs so that you can find out the truth for these things on your own. Quote from page 78. Its main weapon, a supercomputer that gathered data from every piece of hardware in the world that was connected to the internet, originated from a program called ThinThread, which was created to prevent another 9/11. Thanks to private donations, the NSA had no such budgetary constraints as it received massive donations from Bonesmen and their professional affiliates from a group called the Bilderbergs. Basically, the powers that be behind the Bilderberg Group allowed the NSA to have an unlimited budget as long as they followed their harmless agenda of world peace and cooperation. This battle space computer was absolutely state-of-the-art, nothing like it had been seen before, and was the closest thing anyone had invented to true artificial intelligence, or a computer system that was self-aware. A similar version of this computer system had been revealed by Snowden, and was slated to be shut down. The Battle Space program was already running and would replace the system Snowden had revealed. Snowden was an allowed leak to reveal to the world the U.S. had the ability to spy on everyone on the planet. This revelation caused people to self-monitor. Before, they may have assumed they were being watched, but did not know for sure. Once they knew the government was watching everyone, they self-monitored their behavior and were more careful about what they said or looked at online and in public. It's called the Hawthorne effect, and when a person knows he is being monitored, they perform differently. Battlespace was far more advanced than the program revealed by Snowden. Battlespace was programmed to store everything for instant analysis and to allow a more thorough analysis of a past event in the future. The information was recorded from any computer device, security camera, traffic camera, satellite, drone feed, smartphone, anything connected to its network. All the new U.S. driver licenses with RFID chips, EasyPass scanners, credit cards, everything was linked in. The NSA had used its secret black budget to fund major corporations to allow backdoors into almost every piece of technology available that would allow battlespace to take it over and use it for a recording device. In instance, a person's smartphone could be used as a secret listening device and camera for battlespace. Even when the smartphone was off, battlespace could take over the device and use its microphone and camera to see and hear anything in the range of those devices' capabilities. So you can see here pictured on the screen is one of the other things I cover in the book, and this is the Newport Tower, and this is one of the best examples that the Knights Templar actually came to America long before Christopher Columbus. And Christopher Columbus, who also was a Freemason, would have known about America before he left, which is probably why he was so sure he could make it across the ocean. And I don't think, as the mainstream story goes, that he was actually looking for India. I think he knew he was going to America the whole time, because the Knights Templar, therefore the Freemasons, had already been here, and this tower is one example of that. So this is another place the main character goes to in the book that I expose. This is called the George Washington Masonic Memorial. It's in Alexandria, Virginia, and the main character goes there in order to attack the place in the book. That's towards the end, and then something happens, and you'll find out all that if you read it. And I've been there to expose it and take pictures and all that. You can see it on my Instagram account, and this is one of the pictures I took. And basically this entire place, you're only allowed to take photos on the public tour inside, because you're not allowed to take video, because it's built to specific tonal frequencies, and they don't want people being able to capture that on video. You can't capture it in a picture. It would have to be done via video. And I end the book with this statement. He thought, "Lonely was the road, but fruitful are these rewards for those who followed the narrow paths." And for the few people that have read the book all the way through, they will understand why I ended it with this statement. Another funny way to help promote my book, I added the bumper sticker I have here to my car, and if you want to make it yourself, you can make it on any of those websites where you make your own bumper sticker, and I'll send you the JPEG file so you can use that if you want. And it's also the header for the YouTube channel and stuff, like my Twitter handle. And yeah, that's the Lulz machine. Okay, so this is the book, The Lost Truth. It's about 480 pages long. You can get a hard copy like this on Amazon, even though it'll cost you about 20 bucks. I think having a hard copy is actually worth it. This book goes from the very beginnings, which start in Boston in the modern day, and then it stretches all the way back through time, as DNA is the conduit through which you're able to go back into the past in real life and in this book. And I know that's also covered in Assassin's Creed, the game series, but they got that idea from reality just as my book did. And there's been studies by the European Bioinformatics Institute and others that would conclude with this. And this book covers a lot of things. It goes through a lot of the evidence that shows that the Illuminati does exist, because it records all of that and all the factual documents. And I wrote this to be sort of a Dan Brown style book where you would be able to decipher the truth along with a fictional story. So basically what I wanted people to do is read it for the fiction and then get the truth as sort of a wake-up call along the way. And I was sort of targeting the mainstream audience with this, and not sort of the truther community, because the truther community is going to know about some of the things in this book already. But I was really hoping that the Dan Brown sort of audience would sort of pick up on this type of book and get sort of hit by all the truth in it. The truth about 9/11, Sandy Hook, the chemtrails, the GMOs, the DNA manipulation, you know, the manipulation of our society by spiritual forces and by the syndicate of central bankers called the Illuminati. So that's what the book was about, and I wrote it to wake people up, not to make money. So I give free copies away. You can get a free copy by PDF. Just send me an email, as many people have already done. My email's imperatortruth@startmail.com. So if you just send me an email there, I'll be more than happy to email you a copy. And I'd like to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel so far. I really appreciate all the support. It's really nice to see so many people subscribing and the growth of my channel, over 500 subscribers already, which I never would have thought would have happened.
And I'd like to thank everyone else that is out there doing good and telling people the truth about what's going on, because you know, it's not easy to sit here in front of a camera and sort of express your feelings about this to God knows how many people out there on the internet end up watching this stuff, including, you know, my colleagues in my professional life and things like that. So we really do sort of put ourselves out there on a limb by expressing these things and telling people what's going on. So thank you very much for watching my channel, and thank you for checking out this video about my book. And if you want to know more about the book, you're going to have to read it, because it contains a lot of information that the truther community doesn't mention, because this stuff you have to really dig deep in. You know, it's basically the end of the rabbit hole, the deepest, darkest parts of this conspiracy that I could find that are true or contained within, and then even some stuff that I speculate on, you know, dealing with the fallen angels and things as spiritual in nature, because that's what we're really in, is a spiritual war here. So everything you see on Earth is sort of just mimicking what's happening in the spiritual realm, which is why it's so important for us to speak out, because it's not just about this life, it's about your eternal soul and saving as many people as you can, so that you're not, you know, fighting against all those people in the next world or the next life. So thank you again for checking out this video, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Peace.
This is Titus Frost, spitting truth, causing glitches in the Matrix.